Hey class, we're going to take a look at the third step in how to read a poem, and it's read word by word after reading to get the whole idea. So the main thing here is to look up words you don't know in dictionaries, encyclopedias. You can do a quick search on the internet or other reference books. You don't always have to have a paper book. Bother librarians, keep a college or an unabridged dictionary nearby. Often a poem will be built around one seldom used definition of a word. So in order to find that, right, you would have to first you might come across a word that you don't know the meaning. And you look it up, you might see 2 or 3 or more definitions. So you want to pay attention to how that is used in context. Usually, every unnecessary word has been paired from a poem, right? Again, that's probably one of the main differences between poetry and prose. Prose, right, could be a lot of words, a lot of articles, and a lot of words to tell a story. Poetry, again, is more abstract. Each word is there for a reason. Or as we see here, multiple reasons, right? Not finding out what such word means makes reading a poem as much fun as playing tennis without a ball, and that wouldn't be any fun. So again, back to the bells. I want to point out a rhetorical effect here. Onomatopoeia, right? And what that means is the formation of a word from a sound associated with what is named. And I'm going to show you an example of that. So again, let's take a look at that first stanza of the bells. Hear the sledges with the bells. Silver bells, what a world of merriment their melody foretells. How they tinkle, tinkle, tinkle in the icy air of night, while the stars that oversprinkle all the heavens seem to twinkle with a crystalline delight. Keeping time, time, time in a sort of runic rhyme to the tintinnabulation that so musically wells from the bells, 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 bells. Bells, 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 from the jingling and the tinkling of the bells. So, during our first 2 readings, we might have skipped over a couple of these words, especially this one, right, which is a real tongue twister, tintinnabulation. Right? Well, what does that mean? Well, when you look up that word in the dictionary, there are 2 definitions here. 1, ringing or the sounding of bells. 2, jingling or tinkling as if it were the sound of bells. And I think both definitions work here, but if you think back to the onomatopoeia, right, it's a word that has the same association with the sound, and we have that here, right? We hear the tinkling, right? So let's read that again. In a sort of runic rhyme to the tintinnabulation that so musically wells from the bells, 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 bells. So again, Poe uses a word, right, that while describing the sound of the bells, it actually makes that sound, right? The tinkling. We can almost hear it. Again, so once we think back to that unity of effect that he's trying to create, whether it be a short story or a poem, we see it doing it here with a sound, right? The auditory component of the poem.